Could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
Could be, I don't know. There's so many shows out there that are just, I don't know. There's a lot of people that just don't watch TV, right?
That's true.
I just like the background music, and most of the time I'm listening to stuff on my. I've been listening to books on tape,
Oh, really?
narrated on uh what's his name? I can't remember his name. I gotta look it up.
We can
That Santos guy
Santos.
was talking about him, and then so I looked him up, and I saw that they did Walter Russell. Walter Russell. Yeah, he's a. And see, a lot of the stuff that he talks about are concepts that I've talked about too.
Oh, Walter Russell.
Walter Russell.
Oh,
Anyway, I'm gonna do my talk, okay?
Okay.
All right. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heoki empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I called today's talk "Peace on Earth" because because things are coming to that. I haven't said it in a while. The collective wave of bull crap, right?
Right.
Where people, I mean, I reached my collective way because everybody's got to. People peak, right, in their life at different times, in different areas. You know, some people peak successfully. Some people, and it shifts them off into a different trajectory. And I reached my highest point of BS where I was like, I can't live like this. I can't act this way and feel like I'm being the best version of myself. So I need to do things different. That was probably back in 2002, 2001. Yeah, I was a little big for my britches, and I became humbled. I noticed that happens a lot. Whenever I get a little too big, I try to stay the right size. Just keep. You know, you're not a big deal. You're never a big deal. You know, just keep your head down. But then I'm a freaking a-hole magnet at the same time, which makes life colorful because I freaking attract these people that just like to be jerks to people. And then I freaking match their energy, and then they get annoyed. It's so funny.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
but
That's funny
anyway,
too.
I went to the store today, and because this morning I got up and around, I was feeling pretty good, and I don't have to go anywhere. And then it occurred to me that today is Friday, December 22nd, and that means that day's coming up that I'm not a big old fan. I think the whole thing's silly. I'm not a fan of the whole idea. I like, even when I was a little girl, I thought, I did. I remember I was probably 6 years old. I believed in Santa Claus. It, like, with my whole heart, like with everything. Like, Santa is real. Like, oh, if I'm real quiet and I go to back and hear the jingle, jingle, jingle on the roof, the rainbow, and I picture in my mind how they come down and all that at Grandma's house, because he never came to. I mean, he never really came to Mom's house, and you know what makes impressionable kids suckers is what it does. It makes you believe in things that I think it sets people up to believe in things that they know in their heart aren't true. And in my heart, I knew it was true. I mean, I that one year that I believed, right? And it was after that we spent every Christmas on a Greyhound bus until I was 12, 13. I mean, it's just like you got parents lying to their kids. And now it's even like escalated into this elf thing. This thing where this elf does it's just all of it's just like, go out and help a homeless person, man. I mean, there's too many people. An elderly person doesn't have any utilities, doesn't have enough money, is eating cat food because they got a cat because it's their only friend in life, their only companion in life, and it's easier for the person to eat the food that the cat eat than find the food that it's okay for the cat to eat. That's why I had mom come live with me when I came to visit her. I was like, I figured that's what she was doing. Yep. So, life experience. More and more people are gonna have it. Let's see if all those people that have been blessed with all their abundance are gonna be so willing to put their money where their heart is. We'll see. Anyway, peace on earth. Yeah, the store, it was so crowded. The grocery store. I went because I wanted to get something so I wouldn't have to go out until Tuesday if I didn't want, I didn't have to go to the store until like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I went into town and I knew I needed to get a few things. So I went in and what I'm finding is when I get overstimulated, I find one of the employees that I know, and I'll sit and I'll talk to them for a second, and then kind of degauze, get my focus, because I'm picking up on all kinds of freaking wackadoos, man. There's freaking just the weird energy all over the place, all over, and I know my little old dog Artie's feeling squirrely. He wasn't really feeling the peace. He got off his lead, and he don't run real fast, but still he's got four legs, and he runs faster than me. And I don't move real fast because all my arthritis and stuff like that. And I dropped his leash, and he saw the neighbor dog, old 13-year-old German Shepherd, and he went and I missed his leash, and he went off out, and then the German Shepherd started running. I didn't know what was like out of the three things that were happening right there. I didn't know which was like the most pitiful thing to see. Me awkwardly running after Artie, yelling at Artie, or Artie awkwardly running at the old because Artie's 13 too. They're all old, arthritis, all and. He used to freaking spend a lot of time running and playing frisbee. So, anyway, but and then Artie was chasing, and then the German Shepherd was running from Marge, and Artie actually caught up to her, and he tried to he tried to kind of lunge at her, like, and then she put her head back, and by that time I got to him and grabbed the leash and got control of him and started taking him back over in our yard. And I was just like, you Virgo, you just have to freaking, you still got it, these Virgos, they'll be 107, be like, that's okay, I still got it. But he put a little pep in his step, but the energy, there's full moons coming up, there's a lot of energy that's going around, and I've been trying to use my energy wisely, and then I shot myself in the foot because I went in at a time, and it was like, I was probably third in line, and I got to help a woman who had a hurt shoulder, help her get the stuff out of her cart and stuff like that, and then I look back in the line that I was in, it was like 2/3 up to all the way back to the end to the store. And I know the self-checkout was that long too. And so I got, it got real busy, but I don't like, I like a bubble, I like a little like, don't crowd me. Right? And this dude, he was like this tall, comes up behind me with this broad in their puffy coats. And freaking came, and I turned around, this guy's right there, and I was like, whoa! Like, get away from me, dude. You know? Like, don't stand so close. I mean, there's no reason but just to be a freaking, a crowder. I've seen it my whole life, man. People are like, I'll be walking in my trajectory, down the aisle. No, 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 no. And they'll be over on their side and then they'll come over and like walk at me. Like they don't see me until they run into me. They shoulder check me and then they bounce off me. And then I'll say that wouldn't have happened if you would have just stayed on your own course. You know? People are, I don't even know. I wonder if they're just like, when I say people that behave like that, like the controller, I wonder if they're all like fall in those categories of like narcissist and sociopath, like people without feelings. Like they don't care what they do, borderline personality disorder. They don't care what they do, I mean, I'm trying to stay out of people's way in life, and then people put themselves in my way. It's bizarre. It's peculiar. So, I did have several positive encounters today. It was kind of cool. The energy is very potent, and I do very much feel squirrely. So I just have been trying to use that wisely. One thing that the winter solstice does is it kind of puts people and me included, in a reflective mode, like years past. I see so many people on my Facebook feed that they do the same things every year. Like they go to the same places, they see that, like maybe they'll trade off in-laws, but they like, people have their patterns of their life. And mom and I mean, we just kind of always gone with the flow, right? I mean, we've had the patterns of our life, but we ain't never had like the big holiday things, the festivity. We used to like to participate. Like when I was younger, I remember with mom, we did all the stuff. We did all the stuff that I do not endorse any longer. You know that? But I did get to sample and I did get to try it. But when people, they're just not loops I wanted to get stuck in. I remember one Christmas in San Luis Obispo. I was probably 3 years old. And you were with that Dan guy that was mean, but he was a master carpenter, right? And he beat you up. And he was seeing somebody else, and that's what the story was. Is like we were going around looking at stuff in toy stores and stuff for his other girlfriend's kids. And so he's like asking me what I thought these kids would like. And then I didn't realize it, but they were for me, And because I remember I got like a red rubber ball that they used to play dodgeball with, and bombardment and all those things. And I just remember there were just people all over the place, like in Santa's house, and it was just so wild. And then we'd go. I remember the what do you call it? Going on the rides of the fire truck and stuff like that, and going Christmas caroling with hot cocoa, right? It imprints a good time. I just see so many people in life, like now, that like had a good time back then, and they keep trying to create that same experience instead of creating new experiences. We've had a lot of different experiences. Heck, Ma, I was at Molly McCord. She's got a lot of good things to say. And her latest talk that she put out, I guess maybe it was, I don't know when it was, Wednesday, Monday. her most recent one, and she had a lot of good things to say. And primarily, what was I thinking of the most? What was the thing that it's 6:32, right? Friday. Must be like a robo caller. Um, what was I saying? I can't remember. But we had a lot of the experiences like that, right? And then I even participated with when we I moved to Omaha, right? I was like, well, to start participating. So I always participate what other people want, what other people consider to be fun, and it's just like to me. But I'm just going along because they think it's fun, and I'm just trying to have fun with people. Right? I don't care about the event so much. It's just the camaraderie and shared experience and all that stuff. And Omaha, downtown Omaha, it's like I remember when I was dating Shannon and her friend, her son worked at the Cafe 110 coffee shop on the main floor of the building that I worked in, the Landmark building. And I worked on the 11th and 13th floor. The company's not there no more. And but they had the lighting of the mall strip right there, right? There were thousands of people out. It was probably 20 degrees. Homeboy with the freaking Cafe 110 made bank because he was the only restaurant open right there. And he just sold hot cocoa. He was selling hot cocoa and like it was like three hot, maybe hot cider. I can't remember. But it was like three things. But people were just, because he was the only one there doing it. And then I think maybe they had like Starbucks people handing out coffee and stuff. But I just remember thinking. I mean, whenever I'm around environments like that, like I'm like, man, how is it so, these people can get together and watch freaking lights turn on in such big, huge numbers, right? And then I see all the ways that people gather to do entertaining stuff, right? But when the work needs to be done, where are all of these people? It's bizarre to me. I don't know. I never understood that about planet Earth. I got the thumbnail that I have. I should put it on. The thumbnail that I have today is a UAP. It actually came from a video. Let's see if I can do this. See that little white dot? Let's see. Let me get it focused. The little white dot. That didn't work. Here, let me try it like this. Where'd it go? Oh, never mind. I'm not in the mood anymore. But I got a 3-second video of it. And it was the sun, the moon light was coming through the clouds. And then I looked up and I saw it flying, and it was going really, really slow. Like really slow. but it was on this side of the clouds. I've gotten them a lot before, because I remember the first time we saw our first I like that was if that was a memory of a race. That was the first time we saw a UFO. Was in outside of Ventura, California, and we used to go watch the planes take off. And then Mom would be like, taught us how to yell and get our frustrations out when the planes would fly over, because and get it out, get it out, get it out. That's how cancers are caused. People keep this stuff inside, get all mad, and then they're like, be at the grocery store, and they'll think about something that happened 20 years ago because they didn't freaking speak about it then, and they take it out on the that instead of being in the present moment. It's happened. I used to do that. I don't do that so much anymore. I think I've grown up quite a bit. So other Christmas experiences, I used to do the thing, because it was all this. It was like I wanted to do all the stuff that I saw on TV that people did, to be like regular everybody else, and I never felt like I was like everybody else. So I wanted to do all those things, and then I did all those things, and I'm like, okay, that's nice, and I'll do it once, and then like every year people are doing, and then they call it tradition. Doing the same thing, like living the same year over and over, they call it, that's not tradition. I mean, I think about what culture is in this nation, it's laughable. What is it? Baseball history? Stats? I mean, that's what it is? Because I don't know a lot. What I do know is the freedom story that they told us and stuff. When I was a kid, as an adult now, I just see all that's for is to have parades and to sell streamers and balloons, and it's all about revenue. It's all about generating revenue. It doesn't have anything to do with the spirit. This country has evolved into something unrecognizable, and I'm unhappy about it. I know that, collective consciousness will direct us in a trajectory in which we're going to go, and I ain't never really been excited about what everybody else is choosing to do. Like when they get together and pull their resources, I think a lot of the stuff that they pull their resources for are a waste of time. I think all sports are a waste of time. I think when grown men are making 20, 30, 40 million dollars a year to play a child's game, I don't care how big you are, I don't care how much time you spend. There's too many people that don't have what they need because society has set costs to live so high, when I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people on this planet that just would rather not be here anywhere, and we're seeing that as the suicide numbers continue to go up. People are consuming more and more. Good girl. Good boy. Consuming more and more things that aren't good for them. Society is exercising less and less and less. There are the ones I see that they are doing the opposite. They are, they are coming into the healthy lifestyle. See, that's the thing is, when people put so much energy into themselves and they're not taking their time and using their energy to do anything for anybody else ever, it creates a world like we get now. Yeah. And more people have money, which to them is comfort, Like, I have everything I need. I have more than I could need for the rest of my life. So I'm going to put myself in this bubble, right? When I look at life is like Earth is like an erector set, and we could create the environment where like all of the best parts of all the movies, we could make a world like that. I mean, it's already, that's how they kind of make it up anyway, too. I mean, I was telling the people at the flower shop today, uh, I get to preaching about stuff. It gets pretty funny. But some of the thing, and then I think about all of the years I spent wasted, really drunk at bars, you know, no family anywhere, and just surrounded by so many other people that were just freaking looking for people to hang out with, looking for that good time. It's because the energy is so potent around this time of year. People are feeling it anyway, and a lot of times they want to taper that energy that they're feeling down, which I completely understand, by belting it back. What happens for a lot of folks, not everyone, a lot of folks are immune to it, but there's a lot of folks like myself, and I'm speaking for me, that once I start, I don't stop. Once I start consuming alcohol, it's off to the races. Days, weeks, who knows? It puts me closer to the no place space, you know? It flexes my indifference. It justifies my indifference. All of the things that it accentuates my I don't give a fuck. It does all these things that take me away from living a life of service. That's what it does. It justifies me to just be like, F everybody else. This is my life. I'm going to live it how I want to live it. And I don't care about it. All that. It makes me an ugly person. It makes me ugly. And the decisions that I make are just completely self-centered. And that's why I don't. And I understand, I don't know what the future. I get an idea. I get glimpses, based on the collective, how people act. I get my data points that I use are social media. I freaking go out in the world. Craigslist. Like, there's just all kinds of different places that I go just to get a collective idea of what's going on with people in their minds and in their hearts and things like that, right? I just, and another thing every year I struggle with like the people that I listen to, they claim to be, I don't know. I guess to me a spiritualist recognizes Christmas that it's a falsity. It's stupid. It's just it's another hijacked freaking, pay all this stuff, all of it. It's just all the other things people could be doing. And I know that Mom was under a lot of stress when we were growing up because, little kids just want the presents and she didn't have the money. So she would, and then we were so disappointed, and that just broke her heart, right? For no reason. None of those ill feelings over a dumb day where they say a dude in a red suit flies around. I mean, come on. That's the best that this country can do? That's it, huh? It's silly, isn't it, Ma? Or is it just me?
No, it's not just you.
I mean, to get people to believe, it's like, hey, we'll get them young when they're young to believe freaking, like, hey, let's look at all this stuff we can get them to believe. You know? I mean, I've known since I was a little girl. I remember watching PBS and stuff. They watched, like, talk about like marketing. Like they would paint certain colors on the walls because it would stimulate people's mind and get them to spend more money, and they play certain music to stimulate and to get. It's all about manipulation. It's all about getting people to act outside a regular, organic, natural way, a course of action. It's trying to get people to guide and do. I can't stand manipulation, man. The first part of my life, I was so easily manipulated until I started believing and listening to my own gut. Like Marge, this person, mom tried to instill, not everybody's your friend, Marge, right? Not everybody's your friend. There's a lot of people out there. They will act like your friend. They will do things for you. And then once you notice how they're guiding and directing your behavior. Like you're always doing what they want to do. You know? You're going out, you're doing like, wait a minute, why am I picking up your laundry? I mean, I mean, life is transactional, and I'm iffy about those people that say, you keep track of everything. And I'm like thinking, well, you keep track of everything too. You just don't want me to notice that I'm putting the majority into whatever, friendship, whatever we are. And and so, I get tired of it. I will do nothing with nobody if I'm doing with everything all the time. I know it's just work. It's just work. I got plenty of work. I do plenty of work. Looking after Ma and the critters and stuff like that. I got a lot of work to do. I mean, I get if it's a two-way street, but I've been living this one-day street because I all this stuff that they have on like the social media platforms with all these people with like ADHD and PTS, all this alphabet soup, it's all the same stuff. It's energy, either you like omit it and you're cool as a cucumber inside and all the time, which I think that is a lot have to do. I don't think it's more, I think it has less to do with inner peace and more to do with like just people being a psychopath. Like if you don't feel emotions and you don't like a lot of my behavior when I'm not drinking, I don't care about other people and their feelings and stuff when I'm drinking. When I'm not, I am so empathic to the point that I will modify my behavior and I'll be like, you know what? I'm not going to do this because I bet that so and so might get upset if I do, right? And then I've had freaking girlfriends that slept with my roommates. And I mean, all this stuff. Like, they don't have that. They don't have that in their being. That voice that says, don't do that. It's gonna hurt that person. I got that voice in my head. I can drown it out when I drink alcohol. But when I don't have it. And I used to hate myself for a really, really, really long time. I hated so many things. I hated that I was born a girl. I hated that I had all this masculine energy and that I was tough and tumble and, I hated that I couldn't be the person that people wanted me to be for them to treat me nicely. I thought if I could act a certain way that I would be the person that they would be warm and receptive to. Because I didn't get a lot of warmth and receptivity when I was a young girl. And it was a much different time now. And I feel like that they're overshooting the mark with all this stuff, with all this I don't know, change it. God, the way I look, I'm just going to say this. God don't make junk. And it's like, the way I look at it is, the way I feel about my own personal beliefs is that when you mess with what God made, how God made you, that he don't like it. That he's going to probably take a. So I'm not down with, I will never get Botox. I'm not going to get face augment. It's fake. It's trying to get people to believe that you look one kind of way when you don't. You don't look younger when you have all the stuff shot in your face. And I remember I used to watch that show Nip Tuck long time ago, man, and just like even on the Learning Channel, they had shows like that where they showed nose job, and they like freaking they're freaking shoving rods up there and shaving stuff down, and it's no wonder people got two black eyes and stuff. I noticed a lot of the YouTube video people, that the spiritualists, the ones that, oh, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, but I'm gonna take a couple weeks off for Christmas. It's so confusing. I don't know. I don't buy into any of it, and people that do, I'm skeptical of. So that's a lot of freaking people on this planet, right? It's like, oh, you're really about, and what do you? A lot of self-serving people out there talking about living in service. Yeah, it's kind of bizarre, but so what do you do with your excess? What are people doing with their excess? And I was happy to see that Crystal Time, she did a talk tonight, and I'm glad to hear about, and excited for her and the trajectory. She's going to do a community garden and stuff and share in the community her excess, right? Those are the people I'm in line with. I just can't find these people ever wherever I'm local. I think I'm getting closer, because the people that feed people on Wednesdays at the park, they feed them soup and stuff like that, give them a hot meal for whoever in the community, that they're starting a community garden. And I said, well, you tell me, give me a time and a place, and I get blocks of like 2 hours and come out and help, right? So that's how I'm trying to change the trajectory of the future of this planet, is trying to make my local community a comfortable place. And I struggle because of the tourists, man. I gotta do some serious soul searching about that, cause I can't. I promise I will never go to Texas and watch how people live. It's such a weird thing, man. Oh, that's what I was gonna talk about. I haven't done a talk in a couple days. So funny. Let's see, where is it? Okay. Here it is. They put this up. This is all I asked for, because I did a video before about because I went to a healing circle, And then some lady, I do though, I don't want to get into all of it, right? So some lady kicked me off the Pueblo, and I ain't been back since. And but I found out more stuff about her also in the story. Is the heater on? But in my video that I did addressing it, I think it's called War Chief to S'more Chief. It's in that video, I think. From War Chief to S'more Chief. See, because I don't really appreciate how people talk about like what wonderful things that they do in life, and they pay themselves and do all like I anytime that whole it's prevalent everywhere, even on reservations and stuff like that. That I'm the man, listen to me mentality, right? And I've had conversations with women that live on the Pueblo that are freaking sick of it too. But it's the men, right? It's the men. Men are in charge. Men are in charge. Like, dude, okay, how about this? What if this was what if this was a prerequisite? This would be so funny. A prerequisite in order to be a man, you have to be able to stand there and look down and see your manness. Now, if you look down and you got too much gut or man boobs or whatever, is you got too much fluff in the way, forever how much fluff you got in the way, you are that much less of a man. How's that? Now go work for that man title. Anyway. A lot of people failed themselves, and when they did that, they in turn fail their community. So get off your couch, go out and walk around. You'll feel better about yourself, and you'll feel better about doing things for other people too. So this is what they put up the other day. And I also know people that live on the Pueblo that think that this thing, because this is what okay. So happy holidays, okay? Isn't okay? Just go along to get along. Please read before entering Pueblo area. Because in my talk before, I'm like, dude, ain't nobody put no instructions up, right? I'm an autistic person. I get excited, right? So they did it. They let you know all the things, all of the expectations. Here we go. Listed are some of the rules and etiquette to follow during your visit for the Christmas holiday. Absolutely no photos or recording allowed. None. Unless they do it and put it on TikTok. But don't you dare. No devices of this nature allowed. It's just such an aggressive freaking message. I'm not even going to read it lighthearted. How's that? Devices will be confiscated with no return. Phones and drones included. Please abide by all signage placed throughout the area. Do not go into restricted areas. Remember, you are in a living community, aka People Zoo. Refrain from going in or near the Red Willow Creek River. The dances are not on a set schedule for the day. Breaks are taken at different times. Ceremonial dances taking place are in conjunction with the agricultural culture maintained in the community. Please refrain from asking more in-depth questions about the dances. They signify things, but we're just not gonna fucking tell ya. The community is very private about the significance. I've seen the community. Let me know the hours of when you care and when you fucking don't. We appreciate your understanding and we hope you have a great holiday. If you cannot abide by these rules and etiquette, please do not enter our home. Don't forget, I think you got to stop at the admission window and pay. They actually says admission. Come here and pay to come and walk around and watch how we live. It's oh so sacred. If you cannot, bye, please. Oh, volcano in Russia. So, Christmas Eve, hours 9 a.m. after profession. All visitors must exit after bonfire and procession. Public restrooms will be closed by 6. Dress accordingly. It will be cold. Parking is limited. Christmas Day, hours 12 approximately to 4. Pueblo will be closed to visitors by 4 p.m. No more visitors may enter after 4. They don't want you to see the drunken Indians. I know this because they seep out. They seep out all over town. And then they seep back in. So, yeah. Pass. You know? I mean, it's just. I mean, the just like the condition of the buildings and stuff like that. And like, you know, like it's just another group where some people have everything that they need and then other people don't. It's all over. I discovered this dude recently on this he got interviewed. His name's Titus, and I already went through the whole gamut, you know. I don't subscribe to people really. Sometimes I didn't last for like, you know, a couple hours, and then I'll check back in with them, you know. But I listened to a conversation that he and the interviewer, I can't remember the guy's name. He has a huge channel though, but I had never seen him before. He just recently came up in my on my feed, and they hitchhiked from Kentucky to Nashville, Tennessee, and I wonder how far it was. I didn't get that. Anyway, so they were taught all the people that picked him up. You know, Titus was having conversations with them. I'm a preacher. That's what I'm no different. That's what I do. I preach at the grocery store. I preach all over the place, right? No different than that. And I'm ordained. I'm ordained even. So that all these people were saying the same things is the I think the first or the big guy that picked him up, and it was cool because Titus was praying for him to help him become more healthy so he can be a greater service to God, you know, and help him with his quit smoking and stuff like that, right? That was kind of cool. And but this guy's like, he calls them the whatever he called them, the Sunday morning Christians, the fair weathered whatever, you know. And he was even saying same stuff I say. People see it all over the place. It's like people will not get off their couch. They will not lift a finger to do anything to help anybody else. And there's a lot of people out here that need help. And there's a lot of different ways you can help people. But people that have never had to need for nothing, never wanted for nothing, the people that need help, they're not even on their radar. They're just bebopping through life, living that best life. And there's a lot of people that are mad about it. And we're seeing that come out in a big way on the collective scale, right? I keep thinking about that. Has Ben Davidson, is he a flat earther yet? So what's the explain? I mean, how's that going to work if he becomes a flat earther, and how is that going to work with the poles flipping? How's that going to work? I don't know. The way I look at reality is that's why they have like the power of suggestion, and then they have the news media that put out stories and then like inject society with a big old shot of fear right in the main vein, and that adrenaline, everybody gets worked up, fear, spend money, you know, drink, go crazy, self-will, run riot, because fear, you know, makes you do all those things that make you feel better without thinking about all the consequences all those things cause. It's like people are just going off a cliff of self-destruction, and they're taking everybody around them, and That ain't conducive for a peaceful environment, you know. Anyway, what else? As long as, hey Nate, as long as, hey Rebecca, oh hi Christy, as long as people, I get, see, and that's how I look at it too. It's like, as long as I can keep the peace inside me, hopefully that'll keep me from matching the frequency of war out in the world. See? Because I'm doing everything I'm doing all the stuff I can do to learn how to be a peaceful being, right? I just got to drop that rock that says, but I ain't a little bitch either on there. I got to drop that rock. It don't matter if I could be a little, yeah, as long as it keeps the peace in the world, because people are getting so crazy. You know, it ain't going to be good to match calamity unless you are willing to meet calamity. And I don't want calamity. I want to come home and take care of mom. Let the dogs out. Right? But when people feel so much angst within themselves, they match that energy and create environments on an external level. And you got more people doing that. Right now, we just got crabs in a bucket. The whole world's like boiling. First they tried to step all over each other, and now it's just you know, I wonder if crabs are like frogs, like they don't know. Like if you bring it up to a, I don't know, all that stuff trips me out. But me and mom are good, huh, Ma? Yep. You happy? Mom's been eating good, right? Healthy. We're gonna finish this talk soon and do. Mom got new yoga pants for Christmas, and I keep telling her. I said, "Ma, you don't know how it ain't easy to find little teeny tiny lady yoga pants. Look at these cutest little thing. They're so tiny, and they even got the lining inside. Huh? You love these, huh, Ma? Yeah. But really soft." And I got emotional today. Sometimes if I'm not focused, my imagination is so vast. There are times that it can get away from me, you know, and I gotta control it. Like, you know, I guess think about stuff that makes me sad, and then before I know it, I'm freaking you know, and it's like, no, we just have today. Just today. Living today where everybody is okay. That's already pants shaking it off, right, bud? So, anyway, because life is ever changing. That's the whole, I mean, it evolves all the time, and the older I get, the better I do is like evolving and going with it and breathing through it. But some days it's just hard because, you know, I don't know. There just have been points in my life where it was just like I could call a friend and be like, "Hey, you want to come over?" You know, and I can focus on them, or you know, or we could get together and go for a walk. But for whatever reason, whatever my planetary alignments have been, and you know, I'm supposed to learn to rely on myself and stuff like that over others. But still, life is a lot easier when you have a buffer, I think. And I haven't had a buffer for a long time. But I am keeping the peace inside. I am. You know? And I appreciate this helps. I got this. It's by True Hemp Science. It's just straight CBD. Straight CBD. It's full spectrum CBD oil. So that helps keep my energy, my endocrine system from not feeling like I'm connected to a 9-volt battery. Because that's how I always feel. I feel like I always got electricity going through. I can feel the electricity going through me. And I got a lot of it, and I don't necessarily like it. You know, I'd like to not feel. I'd like to not feel that it's a cross between exhilaration, but my body and my mind always has to tell my body that I'm okay, because some sometimes surprises, it's like, you got the surprise at a birthday party, oh my gosh, right? And then you got the surprise, the same, I mean, so my body don't know the difference between getting a call, tell me that my sister got killed on a motorcycle. It feels the same to me. Like when something bad happens, it's like it feels the same. So I just like to try and keep it even keel. And if other people are just trying to learn how to keep it even keel, I got all kinds of I got all kinds of ways, you know. I'm trying to do healthy, positive things to make quality of life better, cuz I did it the other way for a long time, where I made the choices that were to my detriment, and that caused me harm and pain, and caused harm and pain to others around me. And so I feel like I've cleaned up that karma, and I'm headed to help people, because man, it's hard out there, and more and more, I mean, I see stories all the time. There's so many people that are just like a paycheck away from being on the street, and they don't got nobody like mom and dad they can call. I can't call mom. I never in my life have been able to call mom and dad. Both of them say, you ever end up in jail, don't call me. So I mean, I don't, I don't. Huh. Uh, anyway, so the way I look at it is people are peaking. People are peaking in their ego, and it's either it's going to send them in a trajectory where there's like no turning back, but there's always turning back. I understand that. But there's like a turning point, Like you're going to keep living this way, or you're going to do it different. And I hope that people start doing things a little bit different, because the way that they've been doing it is just getting us more, more crap. And I'm seeing exciting stuff about people on I hate politics. It's an extension of Hollywood as far as I'm concerned. It is no different. They're paid actors. Um uh because I mean, politics. It's just it's that's all it is. It's a club, but now you're starting to see like where people's real personalities are coming out about the game. It's all reindeer games to me, but it's changing. I'm seeing the shift happen. I'm seeing like people waking up to, you know what? I can't live like this anymore. I'm seeing it. Good girl, baby. You know, um I'm just waiting to see more people do, like, once they feel better, like I'm preaching all the time, is once they feel better about themselves, they want to do better for other people, right? Like that burning desire to live in service, right? And I was excited to see that young man. I think I know a lot more of the Bible than I think I do, but I am not proficient in it by any means. And I know a little about a lot of different religions. You know why? Because I ask people that are a part of these religions, okay? Because I'm just curious as to I'm not a fan of religion, because I don't like things that cause division. I like things that establish principles, right? But I guess establishing principles causes division, because I don't know. It's also darn convoluted, right? But I got to take dogs out, and I've been running my mouth long enough, so I'm not. It's another day. There's people that are taking time off, and they're not going to do videos and that's okay. I have to each his own. I just know that come here, Benny, come here, come on, let's go this way, come on. That when I was, there's been a lot of times that I wish I had someone to listen to, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing talks. Good boy. I might do more, the next couple of days, to if for anybody just needs a distraction, help, wants to hang out, get through. So that's about all I got for now. I'm gonna keep trying to find my peace on earth, and yeah, 2024 starts in April or March. Spring equinox is new year, and it's gonna be freaking crazy. And I'm gonna have a birthday party, I think, 13th of April. So if people want to come out to Taos and see what the People Zoo's all about, come on out. There's all kinds of cool people out here and things to see, stuff like that. So anyway, more to be revealed. That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.